Okay, hello. This is going to be a quick introduction into how I use Obsidian, a note-taking tool. There are 3 million other videos online about how to use Obsidian, but rather than send my friends to hear someone else talk about it, I'm going to make a quick video and hopefully it will help them understand how I use it specifically, since we have conversations around this all the time. So I say quick video, but I'm not sure how quick it's going to be. I'm going to try and keep this under 10 minutes, but we'll see how it goes. So here we are. No file is open. This is Obsidian. You can see I've already got a bunch of tabs up there. A lot of people who are showing with this for the first time will make a blank vault, which I'll explain in a second, and then go from there, but I don't have time to do that. And I don't want to close my tabs. So you're going to get what it looks like in a real one, and then I'll show a couple of examples of things that I do. So let's start with Obsidian is a note-taking tool. All right, so if you think about using Notepad or TextEdit on your machine of choice, a quick way to open up an application, type something down, and then save a file. In Notepad and in TextEdit, you're probably saving a TXT file. In Obsidian, you're saving a markdown file. So it's whatever you named it, .md. Obsidian is a local application. There's no, you don't have to create an account and have an online profile. It's a local application that has some online features that I'll explain in a second or a little later. But for all intents and purposes, it is just like Notepad or TextEdit, except that it will look across your entire computer for any markdown files and put them into your file structure, unless you give it a specific directory where you want it to look. And that is what is called a vault in Obsidian. So an Obsidian vault is essentially a folder that you define that is where all of your files will go. So you select, you've got lots of different pieces of information, settings here that will help you to do that. I won't go into that. You can watch another video to figure that out. But when you create a new vault, you choose a folder, and then it should be empty. This vault that I'm in is my personal vault that I call Black Box. It is not empty. It's got a ton of crap in it. I generally keep stuff tight like this. Actually, you can create folders within your directory, obviously, because it's just markdown files and folders and directories. But apparently, the cool kids say you're not supposed to use folders at all because it kind of goes against the way that Obsidian is designed. I think they're probably right, but I didn't know that when I started, and so it's hard to undo. So I will not go into those philosophies either. But as you can see here, I've got some files, things to do before the party, improve prompt. You can see this is a JPEG image, actually. I'm afraid to look at that, see what it is. Furnishing Campbell, let's see what it is. Great. So here's an image that I took. Some of my friends might recognize this from a conversation we had about X-Men and anarcho-pacifism. But when you click on that, it shows up here. This is a really important thing to call out, which I hadn't thought of, is that there may be other things in your folders, your directories, that are linked to items that are markdown files. Those things are visible here as well. So you can drag and drop PDFs into your note. You can drag and drop images, screenshots into your notes. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's just go ahead and create a new note. So we'll go ahead and create a new note here. Untitled, we'll give it a name. Today is a good day to tour Obsidian. Just like any other text editor, this, that, the other. Of course, you can use Markdown because it's a Markdown file. So you can create a heading. With Markdown, as always, you can put in bolds or italics. So if you're familiar with using Markdown, I'm not going to go through all that. You've got that there. You can also do external links. I don't have one off the top of my head, so we'll just do like Google. So let's do like this. And just like that, you can see that there's an external link because it's hyperlinked, but there's this little icon that shows it going outside of Obsidian. This is important because the more important thing to do is to reference other documents that you have here. For example, I've got this. These are all going to spoil some of the things that I want to show. Let's see, what about this one? Yeah, okay. All right, here we've got things to furnish an apartment, right? We've got some headings, nothing too fancy. Right, so I can go back and I want to say, I want to link that page. I can go here and type double brackets. You can already see that it's starting to recommend some things, perhaps some things that you've recently looked at. And then if I start typing, you can see all the things I want to do in lots of different places. So things to do before the party. Now, if I wanted that to, I changed that from I thought this was good, but this is better, to I thought things to do before the party was good. If I wanted it to stay this, I could just, and this is kind of mid-level advanced, I can just throw in a straight line here and then type in this. And then it will display anything after that bar as the word. So here you've got an internal link, here you've got an external link. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop with regards to that. The next thing that I want to cover is like lists, and not because lists, you know how to do lists if you know how to do Markdown, but if you're creating a list, you have the opportunity to turn that list into a to-do item, right? By adding brackets. It's kind of looks annoying to do this way, but when you're writing it out the first time, it's a lot easier. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3. Then we can easily set something as completed. You see it gives it a day when it was completed. There's some other fancy stuff that you can do when you add some functionality in. The ability to create these checklists like this is by a tasks plugin. Obsidian has a whole community full of different plugins that people have made. Going back to the system preferences, you can see community plugins here. You can see some of the plugins I haven't installed, and then some of them that I have installed that I have turned on versus turned off. And so tasks, this is the one that I'm mentioning here. Has a lot of verbosity, lots of things you can do, and great instructions as well. So there's some interesting things you can do here that I do, which is getting into advanced again. But like, For example, I could do, instead of putting a space here, I put, so now that's like, it's in progress, right? Or if I do this here, this is a strike through, so it's canceled. So you can do some fun stuff like that. But the really cool thing about this is that, you can reference it. You can look at things that you have placed on other pages, to do items, checklists that you've put on other pages. You can source them all and then reference them in one place. One place I like to do this is in my daily note. So if you look over here on this side, you'll see you can search, you can open a graph view, which is actually kind of cool. I should show that really quickly. So here we're kind of looking at all of the different files that I've got in my Obsidian Vault, and they're links to each other. Sometimes that's more useful than others. You've got the ability to create a canvas, which is basically a workflow. You can just create boxes and connect them to walk through workflows. And then here you've got today's daily note. The daily note, by default, just creates a new page with the date. You can choose where your daily note is stored. I have mine saved in a folder called Daily. So you can see I've got lots of them. But in addition to just having it by default, just have the date and a blank thing, you can actually give it templates as well. And so in my resources area, maybe not. There we go. Here in my resource area, I've got templates. And you can see the template that I've created for my daily page. So it gives me some little motivation up top. Here's where I write some things when I first wake up. Here's where I plan my day. And then I actually leave notes around some of the things that I did throughout the day. And then you can see here what I've done is I've embedded the latest tasks here. If I click in, it should come to here. Yeah, so what you've got here is a code block that references the task plugin, and then you can put in a query. So show me anything that's not done, sort by due date, and then show me the first 20, right? I could change that down to like the first 5. And then when I go out of the box, then it's small, right? So you can see these are actually some quite old ones here. So you can see like that's from 2023, 2024. But you can also see the one that I just created that's like 3, today is a good day to do Obsidian, that we just created, is right there at the top. So that's this is how I use Obsidian on a daily basis. I actually create a daily thing like this every day. You can see here I got a schedule using the calendar plugin, which I'll come into really, oh crap. We are definitely at 10 minutes, so maybe we'll make this a 20-minute video. I'll show the calendar plugin briefly, and then I'll take notes and other things that I need to do. So that can be really cool. So on this full calendar plugin, again, going to our community plugins, you can see that we've got a bunch of different things here. This full calendar plugin that I have installed here basically allows you to create a calendar in Obsidian. Additionally, it allows you to pull in calendars from Google and other locations, your Apple Mail or Apple Calendar, Outlook, whatever you want to do. And so I use that to both capture some items that I have in my personal calendar, as well as to capture my to-do list. So right here, you'll see here I've got a bunch of stuff that I said I wanted to do. It was a bulleted list, and then I opened up my calendar. So let's see if I go, how do I want to do this? Here, actually go calendar. Over here, you'll see at the very bottom, I've got a board, I've got tables. I won't get into tables today. I can open a full calendar, then I'll see my day view. So what you're seeing right here is stuff that is pulled in from my Google Calendar. But if we go back a couple days to the 16th, which we were looking at in my to-do list, you can see I got laundry, order groceries, do some trimming in the yard, do my taxes, etc. So that corresponds actually with what's happening on this page right here. And actually, to make that a little bit easier, what I'll do is I'll split screen. And pull this over here so you can see. There. Now, side by side, you can see the items that I have here. And so, for example, if I went to today's note, did I create one today? Doesn't look like it. And then I went here to today, and I said like, oh, at 6 p.m. I'm gonna make a video. Then you can see that automatically gets placed right here. So you can do it either way. You can do it here and then it shows up there, or you can write it here with this syntax and then it will show up on your board over here. So I find that really useful. The last thing that I want to cover is using Kanban boards. Kanban boards, if you're familiar with Agile or Scrum boards, it's basically the same thing here as well. And so I use one. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. Pull this over. Great. I use one here that's called my projects Kanban. Right. So I dump ideas here. I break things down here. I work on things here, and then these are things that I've completed. Right. So I can hover over something. I can see what's inside of it. If it's got something inside of it, including images. So as I mentioned, you can throw images into notes. So actually, that's probably a good one to look at. But what I wanted to show you is that, like, all right, so break things down for me means sometimes I say to do something, but there's actually multiple steps that need to be done. So it's sometimes very helpful for me to kind of turn that into a list of things to do, or to break it down. So I can quickly create a new note from the card. And so that will automatically linkify it and then create the note where I can start writing things. Put stuff here. What's really nice about that is that, so for example, so I was showing you which one, mural for the living room. So if I click this and go open in a new tab to the right, you can see, oh, so I threw an image in there from a screenshot that I took. I've got links to YouTube videos and to other stuff that I did. So now I can just wrap all of my ideas into one location, put it there, and then have that listed as an item on my to-do list. When I wake up in the morning, I can say, what are the things that I want to do? I can grab my daily note. I can throw in the things that I want to do onto a calendar. And then when I go over here, I can then deep dive into it. Generally, what my day looks like is like I wake up in the morning, and then I'll do something more at the daily schedule level, like here. And then I'll write notes. Let's see if I can find an older one that actually has some examples of me writing notes. No, I guess not. But let's see, find here. Yeah, so here you can see like I've got my morning reflection here, something I was reading. Here's the things I wanted to do. Here I when I was working on something, there were things that popped up that I wanted to remember, and so then I thought about that and wrote it down. Here's a note that I heard during the day: don't let your condition be your definition. There was a weird sound from my refrigerator, so I found the notes. I found some instructions online to how to test it, and so I did that. And so yeah, that's really easy. I can also reference oftentimes, like I can. So here's I'm thinking about curtains for the bedroom, to mimic the ones that I saw in Costa Rica when I was staying there. And so I'm going to add this to the projects Kanban, which I already showed you. So you can see here, it's actually showing it in a list view. Dump things here, break things here, work on things here. Because remember, at the end of the day, all of these notes that I'm showing you are still all markdown files. And so the projects view, then I can go there, and you can see curtains for the bedroom is right here. And I'll go ahead and open that one really quickly just to show that this picture is actually being automatically pulled from another page. So there's lots of embedding and other things that you can do. I pulled this from if I go here, you can see I'm actually pulling in another note from somewhere else, referencing a specific portion of that page and embedding it on this page. This is super powerful and important because if you write something one time and then you write it again another time and you write it again a third time, if you want to change the thing you wrote, you have to go change it in 3 places. But if you embed it in this way and reference it, not only do you get that really cool link that you can show in your social graph or your content graph, but you also can change it in one place and it will automatically update in all those other places as well. All right, and so at that point, I'm really getting into some of the advanced functionality here. But all to say, on a daily basis, almost daily basis, I create a note, I track the things that I want to do, I write notes about the things that I do, and then my tasks are kept here via the task feature. If I want to throw these things, increasingly I'm trying to move to not having a to-do list, but just putting things on the calendar. So I can throw them over here onto the calendar, which automatically links to my daily note. And then I can reference all the wealth of information that I've written about or that I've captured over time. And this can be super, super powerful. I was taking some classes and I took all my notes for all of the coursework I started in Evernote, and around that time I switched to Obsidian, and so all of my notes around all of my notes around accounting and I can. Oh yeah, there's a built-in search. So yeah, local built-in search. So I can see my glossary for all of my notes. I can reference this at any time. I can plug it into anything that I'm working on. If I'm thinking about confirmation bias, I can look and say, what's confirmation bias? And I can query it here, embed it somewhere else, and just really kind of build a knowledge management solution. So hopefully this was useful and not too overwhelming. Again, at the end of the day, you could still just sit here and use this simply as a nice replacement, markdown replacement for Notepad or text edit, but there's a lot of really cool things that you can do. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.